Welcome to my video on photographing the moon with the Celestron 80 telescope and an iPhone. What I want to show you here is the equipment that I used. First of all, this is just a basic Celestron 80. It's a zoom. It's 20 to 60 power zoom. And here's the camera mounted. And then this is a Celestron Alt-Az mount, meaning it just goes vertical and it rotates. It does not track. It's not a tracking. It has no motor. So these two little knobs are what you use to control the altitude and then the azimuth, or the angle. So that's the equipment I used. And this is a better view of how the camera is mounted to, here's the lens right back behind here, and then here's the eyepiece, it mounts right here. And then this is the adapter. I'll show you that next, a little closer. Okay, here's the adapter without the camera, and you can see right there is the eyepiece, and this mounts around the eyepiece, and you screw in this knob right here, and it tightens it up. And you can't see some of the other features of this, but this is actually a pretty good way to mount it. It's pretty rigid. It does a good job. It's a Celestron DX kit universal smartphone adapter. It's designed for this particular telescope by Celestron, and does seem to work. Okay, what I'm going to show you here is, this is a video. This is we've got the setup out, and it was actually in the morning sky, early in the morning, taking a picture of the moon with my Celestron 80 and the iPhone, and I'll just kind of narrate this as it goes along. Okay, so what I was doing, I had the moon in the telescope, and you can see I'm adjusting the exposure, trying to get the right level of exposure. I've not got very good focus, and so I'm having to adjust the focus. What it is, I blew it up so that I could try to get a better focus on the moon. And then you see I'm adjusting here the Alt-Az gears to get it in the right position on the camera. And it's kind of a delicate thing. It's not just, you got to mess with it and learn how it works. So I've got it blown up here in a pretty good position now. I'm going to try to adjust the focus a little bit and try to get to where I can see some of those craters. And you just have to play with it. That's part of it, is trying to get a good focus. Okay, that looks pretty good. Now I used the 3-second delay, and then I took a burst of 10 pictures. And so that was what I used. They also took some individual pictures without the 3-second burst. So that's what the pictures were. That's how I did it. Now, this is one of the images I took, one of the first ones, and you can see here this is the moon, and you can see some of the craters and some of the Maria. And this was just I adjusted the exposure, and then I touched the screen. I've got an adapter on this will help me Bluetooth to the camera, but it didn't seem to work, so I've got to work on that, try to get that going. I'll try to use that next time. That'll eliminate some of the shaking. And this is probably my best photo out of the ones I took. I took several. I just played with it, worked with it, took several photographs, and then picked out the best one. This is one of the 3-second delay where I set the timer to go for 3 seconds, then I started taking the pictures. That got my hand out of the way, not touching the camera. And it takes a burst of 10 images. And so this was fairly well focused. That's probably my best one of the night. And so this is just some identification of some of the areas of the moon that you can see. And you see quite a few craters on here. There's quite a bit of cratering down the south end of the moon. And this will be up in the north. And then this is the west edge of the moon, and then the east. This is the Sea of Rains up here, the Copernicus crater, the Reinhold, and the Lansberg. And then this bright white area, that is the Kepler crater. And there's several others I can identify on here if I just took the time to go through a map. But the main idea is with the Celestron 80 and an iPhone and an adapter, you can take some fairly decent pictures of the moon. This is probably about 20x zoom. I want to thank you for watching. Hope you learned a little bit about taking photographs with a Celestron 80 and an iPhone. Thank you for watching.